Welcome back to Exquisitely Aligned. You may be on your path to having it all, a house, family, money, and travel, when suddenly something shatters your ideal world. It shifts your perspective. You are grateful for all that you've been able to achieve, yet you realize or maybe even decide having it all isn't all that. It may leave you feeling unhappy, unsatisfied, or unfulfilled. You're left wanting something even more fulfilling, but you can't quite put it into words. Others, they just don't get it. They try to pacify you. And that may leave you feeling a bit guilty. I get it. I've stood in your shoes. Hi, I'm Gina. Today we'll be discussing creating beautiful living spaces. Living spaces that support you, your desires, and your truths. Beauty. Some say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Sure, I can agree with that. Google describes it as a combination of qualities such as shapes, colors, and forms that pleases our senses. I agree with that one too. But for me, there's so much more depth and richness. Beauty is something naturally occurring in nature. Beauty is something we desire, something we appreciate, something we deserve. Yes, I believe we deserve beauty. Beauty inspires us to be the best vision of ourselves. Beauty encourages us to be the best version of ourselves. Beauty as well, I guess, beauty can be likened to eating healthy vegetables, taking your vitamins. Okay, I have a better way of describing it. Beauty fuels us. I do get upset when people say beauty is superficial. I don't agree. Beauty fuels us, and that's much deeper, richer, and longer lasting. It's profound. And there's nothing superficial about that. Think for a moment. Why would our Creator, the universe, whatever word suits you, create beauty like the mountains, the valleys, caves, the forests, flowers, rivers, oceans? You get it. Why would our Creator create those beautiful things for us to enjoy and be surrounded by if beauty was only superficial? Are you getting me? How do you feel when you go outdoors, when you spend time in nature, whether it be out for a short walk or on a hike? Most people tell me they feel relaxed or maybe rejuvenated. Some say they feel inspired. And that's because beauty does exactly those things. Now, adversely, have you ever been in the wrong environment? I certainly have. I've changed rooms in hotels because of the lack of sunlight or the view. Now my family asks, is this room okay, Mom? Are we safe to unpack? It's kind of a joke. But you see, I desire beauty everywhere I go because I value beauty. I appreciate its importance. It's relevant to me. We must realize its power. It keeps the highest and finest energy vibe, the one that supports us on our journey in life. And when we value something, we are willing to invest time, money, and our energy. So maybe it's being willing to pay a little more for a hotel room or wait a little longer for the ideal table in a restaurant, or investing our time and money and hard work into enhancing our home and our office. I want to invite you to value beauty even more. It's important to surround yourself in beauty. Let's go into what it means, how it feels, and what unfolds as you routinely do so. This is so impactful to you that I've decided to make it a series with today's focus on your living spaces. Next week and the following episodes, we'll explore other ways to surround yourself and create beauty. For today, though, it's all about your living spaces. Is your home, your office, your outdoor space supporting your inner truths, your desires? Is it raising your energy level or knocking it down? So most people ask, where should we start? Now, I've read books that ask you to start in the basement, and sure, that does work. But do you spend much time in the basement? I'm guessing not. When I help my clients create beautiful living spaces, I want to ensure we create this momentum, this excitement, this enthusiasm. I want them to notice, feel, and enjoy an immediate reward, to feel supported in a way they hadn't been before. Because when that happens, they'll continue shaping up all their spaces. That is why I don't recommend the basement. But with that being said, if your basement or any other space for that matter is calling you, then by all means, please answer it. Begin your journey where you feel called. If it's not calling you, may I suggest starting with a very special space, a space that really needs to support and nourish you. This space will set you up for success. And no, it's not your office. It's your bedroom. Here you'll see and feel improvement quickly, which will create the drive to continue to go from room to room to room. And before you know it, your entire house is feeling right and looking absolutely stunning. Beautiful, exquisite. Supporting you and your innermost desires. So typically we start with your bedroom. Let me share a story. We were guided to our home here in sunny Orange County during the summer of 2020, and it wasn't easy for many reasons. The first house fell through when the seller decided not to move, which in the end was a blessing in disguise. Although the first house was architecturally stunning and elegant, it felt a bit more mature, if you get my picture, maybe for an older couple. But the home we ended up buying is so much more fun with fantastic outdoor space and some ocean breezes, or I should say all day long. It supports our desire to remain youthful. It invites us to spend time outdoors and where we can appreciate the wildlife and the serenity. And that's powerful. So let's move to the individual spaces within the home. As with any home, there will always be changes we want to make in order for it to feel that it's a good fit. This is our first home with a dedicated sitting room in the primary bedroom. And it even has a fireplace. But this fireplace was a distraction. It made the space feel less inviting as the mantle kind of jutted out, making it feel almost unsafe, like you were going to hit your head. Not to mention the entire thing was outdated. The mantle needed to go, and so did the surround. I ended up laying a beautiful white wavy tile from floor to ceiling. With Mark's help and our son's help to cut the tile, I had so much fun. And what a difference it made. You see, what I didn't tell you is, from my pillow, when I wake in the morning, one of the first things I see is that fireplace. And when it was wrong, out of alignment with my desires, it made me upset. Awakening to something energetically all wrong, not beautiful, was disappointing. I felt kind of unsupported. But now the wavy tiles or pattern tiles on the wall remind me of the ocean. We also changed out the fire logs with fire glass. Thank you, beautiful Lisa Hill of creating amazing spaces here in Orange County, for all your help and your suggestions, that being one of them. This simple and affordable change brought the fireplace up to date. Now, I awake each morning to the sun shimmering through the porch door, hitting the beautiful wavy white tile and causing the silver fiberglass to actually shimmer. And that excites me. It makes me smile. It's a magical way for me to begin my day. It supports me in my innermost desires and appreciation of all things beautiful. You see, it inspires me to prepare for an even more beautiful day. Do you wake up feeling inspired by your surroundings? Think about that for a moment and be honest. Is there something you can easily and quickly do to allow your bedroom to support you even more? Your home should be your refuge. It should nurture you. It should fuel and nourish you, allowing you to feel safe, to let go and let loose, to truly express your innermost desires outwardly, both within your home and when you go out into the world. Would you agree? I truly hope you're nodding your head yes with me. How would you like to be supported and nourished? Think about that. What energy would you like to feel in your home? There can be an overall energy for the entire space, and then it can vary based from room to room and the room's purpose. Your bedroom, you might want it to be romantic or maybe sexy or dreamy, while your kitchen, you might want it to be fun and fresh. I'll share another quick story. I've not had a formal living room since we left our first married home in probably, I think that was 2005. And honestly, I didn't miss it. But this home, being a little older, has a formal living room. Of course, I had no furniture to put in the formal living room. Here, we were starting fresh. So we took into account the space was square. Our kids were now in high school and college. And we wanted a space that's more for the adults, something chic and a bit fun. One where we could entertain our adult friends. Somewhere we could eat appetizers on a cool day or have an after dinner drink all year round. And we wanted a space where Mark and I could hang out, listen to music, catch up, or just read, either together or alone. Always ask yourself, what do I want to use this space for? How do I want to feel in this space? What do I want to evoke? And then ask yourself if it aligns with and supports your innermost desires. That's the best way I found to create your beautiful space. Okay, let's move on. For me, there's nothing worse than having rooms that aren't used, as if they were quite abandoned. Instead, what if I challenge you to create spaces that talk to you, they speak to you, they whisper to you, they invite you in? Whether it be the warm glow of the fireplace to warm up your soul on a chilly evening, the comfy chair that envelops you when you need a hug or feel alone, the amazing view out your window when you're looking for inspiration. Maybe it's your garden, your yard, when you need to feel even more grounded. Heck, take off your shoes, feel the earth beneath you, walk in the grass, walk on the river rock, whatever you have, sand, and allow it to support you in the way it wants to. Set up a tent and camp in your yard if that feels right. So I just said, I want to challenge you to create spaces that speak to you. Spaces that beckon you to enter the space and stay a while. There is an equally important second and third part of that equation. And that is, you must listen when it calls you and answer yes. So create a space that speaks to you. Listen when it does or as it does. And answer yes. Even if it's fits for only a few minutes, 3 minutes. There might be a message waiting for you there. I know I feel called to sit in the yard during business hours, to move away from my desk. And when I'm obedient and sit in the yard, soak up the sun and all that it has to offer, at that moment, whether it be a hawk, a gentle breeze, a butterfly, I get inspired. Recently, it was a dragonfly. And dragonflies have great meaning. They're transformational. That is why I chose dragonflies for my exquisitely aligned logo and why I wear them almost every day. You see, when I find a dragonfly, I know that I'm being supported. Had I not gone outside and listened to my intuition to sit in the warm sun, I would have missed that message. So maybe I should say, create spaces that speak to you. Listen when they do, and be obedient in stopping what you think is so important. To create the space to receive what the universe, your creator, has in store for you. Yeah, that feels a lot better. It feels right. Earlier, I used the word fuel. Beauty fuels us. And maybe you're scratching your head going, what on earth? So let me explain that a little more. You see, there is this energetic exchange that happens, a reciprocal reaction. You invest time, you invest money, you invest your energy into creating this beautiful space. And then your space assists you in aligning even faster. There's this quickening to your truths and your desires. It supports and nourishes you. This reciprocal reaction or exchange is what fuels you. So this is where I ask you, okay, it's more than just an ask. I strongly encourage you to create time in your schedule to sit and truly enjoy your space. There's nothing worse to work with someone who tells me they have this beautiful, stunning home, but they are just simply too busy to enjoy it. That seems like an injustice to me. I can't allow that. Start enjoying your home today. Here's something kind of silly and fun to do. It's rotate. Remember the game musical chairs? Sit on every chair and enjoy the view. Every chair in your home, essentially use your space. Most people sit in the same seat at the dinner table. I'm guessing it happens in your home as well. Change it up. Notice what happens. It just may give you a new perspective, a new point of view, one that's inspiring. I promise it's true. Don't believe me? Make me a liar by trying it. Recently, my husband made me laugh. We've been in this house for 2 years. And the other day, he said something to the fact that he had not yet experienced a certain view because he never sat in this one chair during daylight. I told him, I've sat in every chair at all hours of the day. He laughed. He thought I was joking. I told him he needs to try it. The next time you sit to sip a beverage or read, sit in a different chair. And before you start doing what you're there to do, take a few moments to notice what you see. Notice how you feel and allow a new experience to unfold. Remember, part of being exquisitely aligned is being able to express your innermost desires outwardly and unapologetically. Your home should support that. It has to support it. It wants to support it. Whether you want a dreamy space, a romantic space, a minimalist, I don't know, maybe it's antiques that you like. You get the picture. What speaks to you? What makes your heart beat even faster? What raises you up and inspires you to be who you're called to be? Then there's always Feng Shui and the Indian version Vastu. I have the Vastu, what is it? The Way of Vashtu. There are plenty of books out there to help you. And if you enjoy it, you'll find it even easier to go from room to room using that book. The one I'm showing you here is Michael and Robin Maestro, The Way of Vashtu. But there's plenty of Feng Shui books that are great too. Or let the experts help you. Hire out. Hire an interior designer. How about a decorator? Someone who specializes in Feng Shui or Vashtu. You can also hire great people who will help you reorganize and declutter your space. Let's talk about finishing touches and scents and sound. One thing I love to do is bringing the outdoors in. Consider clipping a few flowers from the yard or going to buy a bouquet every once in a while or every week. This is a fantastic way to add color and aroma. Talking about scent, maybe it's incense, possibly a candle or your oil diffuser. Most importantly, I must bring your attention to your energy vibe. You are creating spaces that support you, uplift you, and inspire you, and that raises your vibe, your energy, your aura. And that's another reason why it's important to spend time in each space. Light a candle, turn on the music, whatever it is. Let's shift for a moment to the truth about clutter. Clutter does the opposite. Recently, I read in Psychology's Today's blog, and they explained it spot on. So let's see if I can get it. Clutter bombards our minds with excessive stimuli, visually, smell, touch, you get it, causing our senses to work overtime on stimuli that aren't necessary or important. Clutter distracts us, drawing our attention away from what we should be focusing on. And clutter makes it more difficult to relax, both physically and mentally. Would you agree? Have you ever felt overwhelmed when you were in a cluttered space? I'm guessing you're energy sensitive. And if you are, that overwhelm causes us to feel tired or maybe even exhausted. Instead, I want you to have space around you, freedom to move around, allowing healthy energy to flow around you and to you. I love this book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo. We'll talk more about this book in another episode, but just briefly today, talking about or speaking about clutter, she has a great suggestion. She says, if you feel lost or need some more inspiration, use your intuition. And I love that. She says, touch the object, pick it up, touch it, whether it be a mug like I'm holding or a piece of clothing, and energetically ask yourself, is it making you smile? Does it make you want to put it on? Think about that. There's clutter under usually bathroom sinks, in our closets, in the basement, in the attic, in the garage. Maybe you're a collector. Yeah, I get that. But can you put some of what you collect in a box and store it until you really need it? Boxes are making me think about moving. Let's speak about that. There's a great benefit to moving. It's a time when you can decide if you really want to put that in a box and move it, pay to move it to a new home and take time to unpack it, or if you want to ship it, bring it to charity. Maybe it's stuff that needs to be trashed. Maybe it's stuff your friends can use or your friends' kids can use. I don't know. It's a great time to reassess and reevaluate what's really needed in your new place and to really clean out. Honestly, I feel like any day is a good day to clean out, to donate, to sell, or to trash, recycle. There's no reason to move things that no longer support you, your desires, or your truths. And there's no reason to have them in your house either. Let's go into repairs. It is important Very important. And Feng Shui speaks about leaky faucets, leaky irrigation systems. Feng Shui lets us know that if there's a leak in your space, it is a reminder you're losing money. Don't let those things linger. Don't let things fall apart. Keep your space up to date, tidy, working. This space is your environment, the environment you need to feel supported, to feel nourished, to feel energized. Let's talk about your cars. Your cars need the same attention as your home and your office. Maybe it's time to wash your car. Possibly you need a full detail. That happens to us. Besides you getting from point A to point B, are your cars supporting you? Are they supporting you by surrounding you in beauty and safety? Listen, have you ever ridden with somebody who's known for driving on fumes? It doesn't feel good to be their passenger. It's a bit unnerving instead of supporting. You're left wondering if you're going to be pushing the car instead of riding in it, right? And what it does energetically is it sends out a message to the universe of lacking. So why would we want to do that to ourselves? Same goes with your tires, your windshield wipers, your headlights. These things are in your control. Take control of them. This will support your desires to get you where you are going on time and safely. You see, it's an exchange, a beautiful exchange. Earlier, I mentioned hotels. Be sure to do this with all spaces, including your home and outside your home. Think about places you go to, maybe coffee houses, restaurants, hotels, parks, campgrounds. I don't know what you like to do. Make sure they support you. Your desire for beauty. They inspire you and your truths. So today we discussed the truth about beauty. It's not superficial, not at all. It's an energy that fuels us, inspires us, encourages us, supports us, nourishes us. And there's this reciprocal reaction, this exchange, energetic exchange that we create with our living spaces to support our desires so that we can express them outwardly, unapologetically. And that's the magic. This is how your creator, universal wisdom, the universe, whatever you endearingly call it, wants to support the inner beauty within you. A space that's natural, that's beautiful like you. A space that allows you to shine like the sun, lighting the way for others when it's dark. A space that gives you permission to let go and let loose, to be free to choose your inner knowing above all else, to be exquisitely aligned the way you were born to be. I hope I've motivated you to value beauty even more than before and to create beautiful spaces. I'm going to repeat what I said earlier. I hope I get it right because it felt right at the time. Create exquisite spaces that speak to you. Listen when they do and be obedient. Stop what you think is so important. Be so obedient so you create the space and time to receive what the universe has in store for you. It usually knows exactly what you need at that moment in time. And when you are lovingly supported and nourished by your beautiful space, you become exactly what you see missing in the world today. And that's powerful. With that being said, till next time, be exquisite.